Hello everyone, and welcome to the Narcissistic Abuse and Recovery Care Network. I'm Dean, your host on this wacky journey through narcissism and understanding the narcissist. Tonight is Episode 8, Part 1, and the title of Episode 8 is The Narcissist Devaluation of Friends, Family, and Appliances. This is Part 1 of Episode 8. There will be a Part 2 of Episode 8. Part 2 will actually include me showing you real-life examples of messenger evidence that I have between myself and my most recent narcissist, where I'm going to be showing you her actually devaluing people around her, some of her friends, some of her family, some of her ex-lovers as well, and you'll be able to see exactly what they do with real-life examples of what's going on. So that'll be in Part 2 of this episode. But right now we're just going to discuss stuff in Part 1, and what we're basically going to talk about is how the narcissist basically devalues people. So as we've talked about this in previous episodes, narcissists have this thing where they acquire you and they put you through, a very graceful golden period where you can do no wrong, basically. And this is all part of how they deal with you as far as grooming you to become part of their fuel source. But as we know with narcissists, when they do this, they eventually will put you into a devaluation period. It's usually because of something you've done, or simply because you've gone long enough with them that they seek to actually put you in a devaluation period, because they either require the negative fuel from you. Of course, with narcissists, they get a lot of energy from positive fuel that you provide them with, but some narcissists also get a really good dose of negative fuel from you if you're being very negative with them. So what they will do to do this is that they will pick fights with you. It doesn't matter if you're a family member, if you're an intimate partner, primary source, if you're just a friend. They will usually at some point pick some type of fight with you in this particular way and devalue you in some sense. So for me, this is something I went through with my own narcissist in a very up and down, imbalanced way with her, where I would be in a complete golden period with her, and then perhaps I would do something that she was upset about or whatever, and sometimes it wasn't even necessarily me doing something that upset her. It was just something that I did that she didn't like. And she would put me in a devaluation period in hopes, I guess, that she would attain perhaps negative fuel source from me by picking a fight with me or whatever. The only difference is that for myself, I'm not much of a fighting person, and definitely when I became aware that she was a narcissist, I had really no desire to fight with her at all. So what I did is I just talked to her about other things, and I essentially became more or less a poor fuel source for her, especially a poor negative fuel source for her. She actually at the time had already started seeing another intimate partner, primary source, whom I was aware of, and he provided a much better source of both positive and negative fuel for her than I did, because he had some personal problems, personal emotional and behavioral problems that didn't coincide with the way she was. He may have been a bit of a narcissist himself, and she seemed to have problems with him. So he provided a lot of positive, I guess, and negative fuel for her. And of course, this of course removed her focus from me more onto that person, because she just derived more fuel from them. So I would get the message from her every once in a while. At first it was like, on a bi-daily basis. Then it became more like, a couple of times a week, maybe twice a week she would talk to me. Or she would talk to me when she was trying to, of course, keep me within her fuel matrix anyway, just in case she needed me, even though I was in basically a shelving process. So when narcissists do this, they will literally devalue people around them, their friends and their lovers and other people. I personally would love to see, if anybody was able to provide it to me that actually knows my narcissist, I would love to see the devaluation she may have put forth about me to other appliances, just out of sheer curiosity, because she certainly devalued other appliances to me and friends around her in some pretty serious ways. In all my dealings with her, she talked to me quite extensively about friends and family members, and definitely her husband at the time. And for the most part, initially when I was involved with her, I did go along in supporting her in a lot of this stuff, but of course I found out later on that probably most of what she was doing with me when she was devaluing her husband, who she had gone back to, and even in earlier times when I was just involved with her as a friend and she would devalue her husband, she may have just been lying about all these things to me, because I found out after investigating her quite thoroughly that most likely most of what she told me probably wasn't even accurate. So she was devaluing him, she was devaluing family members, and this is just seems to be what she does. This is what all narcissists do, and they do this in a cyclic fashion, and this is something we just have to pay attention to. I certainly paid attention to it in my investigation. But narcissists in general will just devalue everyone, and usually the less useful you are to them, or the less useful you become to them, like this, the more they will devalue you, and the more they will basically just detach from you as you go. And you'll see a wearing down period with them where they will contact you less and less and less and less. Unless, of course, you put them through a period yourself where you go no contact with them, which I've done at certain times. And all this did for my narcissist was basically aggravate her, I guess, and draw her out of the woodwork. Because when I would do this with her, she would immediately come back with me, and she would try to reconnect and hoover me like this. She did this repeatedly 5, 6, 7 times in our time together, in our time together being romantically involved, that is. And this was just a cyclic thing. And in some of the future videos, I'll be showing you some of these love bombing things that she was doing with me over the period of time that I was involved with her, from late 2017 on and off until almost mid 2019, when I became involved with somebody else who I had a romantic interest in. And even after that, she as well too tried to put me through some hoovering periods and tried to cause me to actually get rid of the person I was seeing on more than one occasion. It happened once during the summer of 2019 and once at the end of 2019, where she basically told me if I got rid of this person I was romantically interested in, that she would come back and be with me. And of course this was a lie. This was just her hoovering me and trying to draw me back in by love bombing me and get me to do what she wanted to do. And when I didn't do it, the interest immediately went off of me to the new intimate partner primary source, who she was involved with, but in turn didn't want to stop seeing either. Even if I got rid of the person I was seeing, she still intended to keep this intimate partner primary source, and this was what she vocalized to me. So again, narcissist devaluation happens with everyone. They will put you through a period where you are golden, and then they will literally run you down and drag you down into the pits, just to gain control and to show that they're in control of the situations. And this is just a cyclic thing that they do. So this is just going to be the basis of what part 1 here is, and I'm going to tell you guys to stay tuned for part 2. It's coming up shortly, and I will show you actual hard evidence examples of messenger exchanges between myself and my narcissist, where she is talking about devaluing friends and family in these messages. And you'll actually get to see what was going on with her as an example for yourself, and you'll see how narcissists devalue other people around them, and just what that looks like when they actually really do it. So stay tuned for part 2, guys. I'll see you soon.